Welcome to my channel. My name is Carol and I'm coming to you from Johannesburg. I run a tax and accounting practice, and not only do we do company taxes, but we also do personal taxes. Now, as we near the season of personal tax returns, I want to talk to you today about instances that give rise to tax refunds when you file your tax return. I get asked the same question over and over by clients, why they've received refunds and why they haven't received refunds, why certain people are refunded and others are not. The basic rule of thumb right now with SARS is that if you as a taxpayer, as an individual, are not actually paying your pay as you earn on a monthly basis, in other words, you don't have a payroll system where you deduct the pay as you earn and pay it off to SARS, then you are not going to get a refund from SARS even if you are in a negative position when you submit your return. So SARS cannot refund you for amounts that you haven't paid into them in the first instance. However, there's a few more factors to be taken into consideration that will explain why SARS will refund you and in some instances won't. So, taxpayers may be in a position where SARS is owing them in usually the following instances. So if you've submitted your tax return and you find that you've got either a retirement annuity or medical aid contributions that you've been making in your personal capacity, those are the usual reasons why a taxpayer would be subject to a refund. What would happen is you would get credits for your retirement annuity, and you'd also get credits for your medical aid. Please note there is a limit. It's not indefinite. It's not to the full value of your retirement annuity and the full value of your medical aid contribution that you would get credits. There is a cap. There is a limit. Another thing to note is that retirement annuity is completely different from any other pension fund. So I often get clients coming to me and saying, listen, I don't have retirement annuity, but I am contributing to pension or some other fund. Can I not get a credit? The answer is absolutely not, because SARS will only recognize a few specific retirement annuity contributions as being creditable. So with medical aid, it's fairly straightforward. You would get a certificate from your service provider, and this would tell us what your contributions have been throughout the year, how many dependents you've had, yourself included, and what the total is of out-of-pocket expenses that medical aid has declined to pay. So in both instances, the retirement annuity and the medical aid, you would need to provide these details to SARS. Because of AI and the growing ability of SARS to pre-populate tax returns and get third-party information, it has become less and less of a burden for us as taxpayers to receive these retirement annuity or medical aid certificates at the start of the tax season. SARS themselves will get that information on your behalf, especially if you have an ID number. If you are using a passport number, in other words, you're a foreign national, not someone who has a South African ID, it's a little bit more difficult for that information to self-populate. But for every other taxpayer, that information does self-populate, and all that will be required is for you to check it and confirm that it's all being populated correctly. Now, your IRP5 is the most important information that you would receive from your employer, and that should automatically be pulled in or sucked into your pre-populated figures on your tax return. You would be able to tell what your earnings were, what your deductions were, and what for SDL and UIF, that would just be what the company has paid over on your behalf. That is the most important document in this whole process. It will decide whether you've actually had pay-as-you-earn deductions going off. If you have a travel allowance, which is becoming less and less common, you need to ensure that you have a logbook, that you have tabulated your trips, and they are in the correct format that SARS requires. Details of your car must be available, as well as your mileage for each transaction, your opening and your closing balances. Every single detail must be on your logbook, and you should be able to fill that in order for you to still be in a position where you are not owing SARS. So, having said that, we will be dealing in my next session with the instances that give rise to you owing SARS instead of them owing you on your personal tax return. Join me as I navigate these and other tax issues on my channel. Have a pleasant day, and please remember to subscribe, hit that button, and to become a part of our community. Please like our channel, share the broadcast, and enjoy.